What's up? My main mission in this country will be to show you in the beautiful form and maybe convince you watching that Ukraine could be an interesting place for you to visit. I'm going to be showing you many cities and many cool places to look at in Ukraine. One thing left to say is, let's go. Ukraine definitely has enough to amaze, and I can surely say it's one of the most interesting countries I have ever visited. But before we begin how the usual tradition goes, I had to say a description and say the phrase in this video you'll see. And so we'll take a look at the capital city, the oldest city called Lviv. We'll take a look at Chernivtsi, Poltava, Uman, Ritkivsti, a Ukrainian village, Kharkiv, eat all kinds of different foods, and answer the question, how's Ukraine during the pandemic? So let's go explore Ukraine. Kyiv is the capital and the most populous city in Ukraine, coming in at 2.2 million people. Kyiv is the city of tourists, food shacks and cafes, and people try to sell you anything. For example, you stop to take a look at their owl, and you just spend $5 on a picture. Kyiv also has many stores and restaurants, including brands like Nike, Samsung, Zara, KFC, and many more. Just so you guys know, that's not Target, but Alo in Russian. They don't actually sell everything that Target sells, it's just they copy the name so people recognize it. It's pretty funny. Most of the stores I showed you are located on this street. This street is a major tourist destination with attractions like this one. The Independence Square was built for the 10th anniversary of the independence of Ukraine in 2001. The statue is made out of cast bronze and weighs a whopping 20 tons. Besides restaurants, stores, and attractions, this street features many malls like this one called Zoom. For some reason, Ukrainian malls feel more open than our American ones. Yes, this mall feels more open, has all the cool brands, and looks very fancy. When crossing the main roads, Ukraine has under-the-road walkways, which in my opinion is a safe and smart idea. And Ukrainians couldn't miss this opportunity to sell more things, so they made these walkways into small shopping centers. Like, who would think under the ground there's a 2-story building with many shops? It's like a whole mall in here. In Ukraine, their menus and tour guides have QR codes. Over here in Ukraine, you just scan your phone and then your menu shows up. And most of the places had these types of menus. Also, not too far from the Kharkiv street, there's another attraction. But to get there, you can go on this mode of transportation. What it is an incline bus type of thing. Once you arrive at the top, you'll see some beautiful buildings, churches, and monuments. And there's also a city park. It's nighttime right here, so let's see how it looks like during the day. Oh, it looks much better during the day. The city park is a wonderful place to escape from the very busy city. The park had wildlife, playgrounds for the kids, grandmas talking everywhere, a lot of benches, and amazing views. And we were here during the fall season, so the views were just that much better. And the park itself was very clean. Even though Kyiv is in Ukraine, it's still a pretty clean city. I mean, for Ukraine, it's very clean. Now considering the fact that graffiti is everywhere, here they still keep it clean. Around the city I saw people just casually sweeping the sidewalks, and in the park's machine cleaning the park. What could I say? Good job, Ukraine. If you follow the pathway around the park, it will lead you to another attraction. The People's Friendship Park overlooks the river Dnipro, and it was built in 1982 to commemorate the 60th anniversary of the USSR. Also as a tourist-friendly place, they made many things to take pictures of. and constructed a bridge that you can see through. By the river, there's also a few bridges that light up at night. A few other things to take a look at in Kyiv is the Golden Gate and this beautiful street. So we just took care of the capital city, now it's time to move on to the next one. As we were going to the next city, it was a 7-hour drive and we stopped at many gas stations, which gives me a chance to show you Ukrainian gas stations. The one we stopped at was called Sokar, considered one of the best in Ukraine. Besides auto stuff, drinks, and different flavored chips, there's not that much to show actually. We also saw many wheat fields, and as Ukraine is known for them, I just have to show you. As I said before, we came here during the fall season, so it was already past harvest time, but it still looks interesting. After 7 hours, we finally arrived at our hotel.
This is probably the most funniest hotel we've ever rented.
This hotel had a purple kitchen, a royal bedroom, purple ceiling, a key for a castle building, and after all of that, this hotel received a 9.5 star rating. I don't know how though. Since we're just talking about hotels, we'll continue with that topic. In Ukraine, we rented many hotels at many different price points. In Kyiv, we rented an apartment and a hotel. The apartment cost us $67 and the hotel $90. The one in Lviv was $42. The best hotel we rented was located in Chernivtsi. It had 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a very nice view, and was $82 per night. In Uman, we rented an apartment for $45. And in Poltava, we had an apartment with a bunch of random decorations. So those are the hotels in Ukraine. Now let's take a look at Lviv. Lviv was founded in the 1200s. It's one of the oldest cities in Europe and the oldest city in Ukraine. Lviv is a very touristy city. There's a lot of people here and more people trying to sell you random things just like in Kyiv. Lviv was also a part of Poland in 1949 and you can really tell by the architecture. Number one thing to do in Lviv is actually just to walk around the old city. One building in particular that's the centerpiece of Lviv's historic old city is the UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Opera Building. Lviv also has many museums. We decided to go into this one right here, which had knight-related things, shields, armor, and much more old things. This museum had 2 floors.
This is where all the good stuff's at.
And the bottom floor had cannons. Ukraine also has their own type of Uber app. You just order a taxi and they'll find you. The next place we're going to is called High Castle Park, but to get there you'll need to climb up a lot of stairs.
Over there we gotta go.
And after a few minutes climbing to the top,
We made it.
at the top there are waiting flagposts, tourists, and supposedly a good view. But we didn't get lucky with the weather, so this is the view. We looked at Lviv, and now it's time to move on to the next city. The next city on our list is Chernivtsi. We stayed at this city for about a week, and we really enjoyed it here. We met a lot of nice people, like Mark.
Мне нравится в Украине самая вкусная пицца, самая вкусная картошка фри и кока-кола.
We later, not too far from the city, visited another spa complex with Mark and his family, which had multiple saunas and an indoor pool. The place also had a mini petting zoo with different types of animals. Like all cities have their main streets, and Chernivtsi's main street would have to be this one. This street has many shops, things to take pictures of, and restaurants. And speaking of restaurants, that can be our next topic. We ate a lot of food in Ukraine, and if I were to show you everything, this video would just take forever. So instead, I'll show you my most favorite restaurants we ate at.
What's funny is that they translate fries into free.
One of the best would have to be in Chernivtsi in a hotel actually. They made very delicious appetizers and delicious entrees. Another delicious restaurant we ate at would have to be Green Garden Cafe in Lviv. They made very good sushi, salads, tea, and scrumptious duck. Now back to the city. Chernivtsi is a very pretty and worth walking around in, but a place you have to visit when visiting Chernivtsi is its university. It's also another UNESCO heritage site and looks amazing. Also not too far from the city, close to Armenia, we visited a small Ukrainian village. This village had everything you expect a village to have: farm animals, a few little stores selling knockoff brands, and a church. But as I was filming this village, a guy, supposedly a cop, walked up to us and started asking us questions like, why are you filming, what are you doing, and asking our license plate number. Apparently somebody complained, which means for us, it's time to visit the next city. The next city we visited is Uman. We were here about a year ago and only visited the Jewish district, where there are a lot of Jews, and everything is written there in Hebrew. You think you're in Israel, but you're actually in Ukraine. And this time we saw the rest of the city. We were here for just a couple of days, and the only place we got to visit is the Ritkivsti Park.
Besides broken fountains and mud as their pathway, Ritkivsti Park needs some work.
The reason it looks like this is because we came here during the wrong season, and the plants were all frozen ready.
Isn't this beautiful?
No, that's garbage.
So we just took a look at the Kyiv Park, and now we're going to the next city. Poltava would have to be the coldest city we've been in Ukraine. We are wearing coats non-stop, and it's one of the few cities we saw that had snow. Poltava has quite a few things to look at actually, like this church. There's a watchtower that overlooks the city. Oh, this is the Galushka monument thing. Galushki here is like the main dish in Poltava, so if you're ever gonna be here, you gotta try it. Man, it's pretty cool if you see here. It's wet. No, don't do that. And one of the main things to look at in Poltava is the rotunda of people's friendship. You guys, take a look at this. There's some funny signs over here. Poltava also has many streets, and at night they look very beautiful. A lot of people told us that McDonald's tastes way better in Ukraine than in America, and so we wanted to try it. But when ordering our food in the drive-thru, the line was very long. I want to go inside the McDonald's, but there's quarantine, so home it is. We understand Russian perfectly fine, but what they were saying really made any sense to us.
Тоже прикола.
Тоже кома, да.
Mock chicken. The same. The sauces over here, they call it, I don't know if it's focusing, they call it kisle-sladky. Sour sweet, not sweet and sour sauce. Funny. And probably the most funniest thing is that instead of 10-piece nuggets, they have 9-piece nuggets. Honestly, it tastes the same. There's no difference. And also one more thing called sneaky snacks, which is just a shrimp, and we don't have these in America, so let's just try them. Tastes pretty good. So I just showed you the Ukrainian McDonald's, and now let's take a look at some stores in Ukraine. I'm gonna go to a store in Metro, and I'm gonna show you what you can buy for $1 US, so you can easier understand how much $1 is worth here in Ukraine. You're not actually filming here, so I'm gonna try to show everything as I could. So here are some of the things you can buy for $1 in Metro. You can buy a pack of Russian toffees for 20 hryvnias. Our favorite American Tic Tacs, 13 hryvnias. Oh, you can buy chai and tea for 26 hryvnias. You can buy Oreos for 14 hryvnias. Nutella to go for 34 hryvnias. Lay's. Yep, and only for $1. You guys won't believe it, but you can get this whole big salsa thing for only 129 hryvnias. It's not $1, just I wanted to say that. I don't even like salsa, so. Rice for 22 hryvnia. Yo! Гречка. Овощи. Фрукты. I don't know. What does that mean? All of this candy for like $3 a pound. That's not too bad, right? But it's not $1, but pretty good. These are my favorite, by the way. I love these. Hey guys, I'm just walking around here, and there's so much good stuff here. Vagi. Can somebody translate, please? Kielbasa. Well, hopefully you understood what $1 US could buy here in Ukraine. At the time, $1 US was worth 28 hryvnias. So yeah. The city we have left yet to take a look at is Kharkiv. Kharkiv was very close to Poltava, and we stopped by there for a few hours. Kharkiv is also Ukraine's second largest city in population, but some places we had time to visit in Kharkiv was this street. But one thing I noticed about Kharkiv and Kyiv in a limited time is that they drive some very nice cars here, like Tesla Model 3, Porsches, many Beamers, and a whole lot of G-Wagons. Now let's answer the question, how is Ukraine during the pandemic? Many public places had signs on the door to wear a mask. In restaurants, the waiters wore a mask and gloves. Outside, it wasn't mandatory to wear a mask, but many people still did anyways. And on a public transport, it was a must to wear a mask. So that was Ukraine for you guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Ukraine, I've been here many times. It's like my third time here, and each time it impressed me. Travel because it's worth it. See you in the next one.